This video is brought to you by CoolstuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock.
Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and today in the arena we have Temur Reclamation. This deck has been getting played more and more. It's become popular based on what Croaky's, probably one of the most popular Magic streamers right now, is playing, and it feels like we do this every set since Wilderness Reclamation and Expansion Explosion were in the same format, about 4 sets in a row now. We go through a period of, is Temur Reclamation good? Does the deck have what it needs now? And it did receive some new cards. Thassa's Intervention is both a counterspell and a deep mana sink to let you go into the deck and find the pieces you need. URO gains life, ramps, and gives the deck an alternate win con. In the past, it had to have Niv Mizzet in the deck. Niv Mizzet was great against counterspells, great against control, not good against aggro. And URO is good against aggro and good against control. And it's just much more affordable and gives the deck another dimension. Since the deck doesn't use its graveyard otherwise, if the opponent can't deal with the URO can threaten to kill the opponent. If they do figure out how to deal with the URO, maybe that takes resources away and the combo finish becomes a possibility. Also in the deck is Storm's Wrath. Flame Sweep is a card, but it only deals 2 damage, and it was really easy to get over that. I mean, a Knight of the Ebon Legion would get over that if it grew just once. It was kind of gross. Definitely wasn't good against Rotting Regisaur. Definitely wasn't good against Spawn of Mayhem. So many of the things that hurt you, Flame Sweep just wasn't very good against. It didn't take out Torbran from the red deck, for example, or a Steamkin with 2 counters. But Storm's Wrath hits a lot more, including Teferi, which Teferi shuts off what the Wilderness Reclamation combo can do. You can't expand anything with Teferi on the board. You can't add all the mana and cast Explosion in your end step with Teferi Time Raveler on the board. But Storm's Wrath can take a chunk out of it, and so can this card, Scorching Dragonfire. So I played this deck a lot yesterday. It's kind of fun for me to take a really successful best of 3 deck, which I think Temur Reclamation has the potential to be a very successful best of 3 deck, and try to adapt it to best of 1. And the version that I started with, the Croaky's version, had cards like Nissa and Hydroid Krasis as the backup plan. But oddly, I found those to not get the job done in best of 1, as the format was too aggressive and I was just too often too low on life to do anything useful. And so what I did was pivot the deck a bit, and we grabbed some Scorching Dragonfire for early interaction, more Brazen Borrowers for beatdown plan and interaction, and opt to instant speed flash in the opt. I did this all on stream. If any of you want, if you're Twitch subscribers, you can watch my stream replays. I spent about 4 hours and lost a few events. I think I lost 2 or 3 events trying to get the deck right, and then we went on to win 7 wins with the version you see here, but I'm not going to show you those. You guys can go watch those on Twitch if you're subscribers, but the music often mutes parts of it, just to be honest. So it's not exactly how I like to share the content on YouTube. I like to record content for YouTube, and thank you to all of you who are supportive of that. I think it's important, but that's a whole rant for another day. So what we're going to do is dive in today and play this Temur Reclamation and see if we can get 7 wins for a second time in a row with this version, which I'm pretty excited about. I think having the right card in this spot, the last 4 spots where you have to figure out how to interact with your opponent, is very important. And Scorching Dragonfire's ability to hit a Planeswalker or a creature, and the Exile Clause, which is really important right now, comes in really handy. I do wish I could still fit a negate in this deck, and maybe that's what the Chemist's Insight should be. The card that the Chemist's Insight often is the 4th Thassa's Intervention, so that makes sense in a lot of ways. But I wanted a way to gas up, and I was having a lot of issues where I would get to 4 mana, cast Thassa's Intervention for 2, and I wasn't very excited. And Chemist's Insight is just a little bit more in that particular spot, so I like the split right now. All right, another last announcement before I dive in. There's a Players Tour this weekend with Pioneer events and an SCG tour with Standard, Modern, and Pioneer, and I'll be doing a watch party. So if you want to come by Twitch and ask questions about what's going on and such, then yeah, it can be fun. Hang out, watch some Pro Magic, see what's new in Pioneer, which is a format that will be on Arena someday. They've announced it might be a long time, but it will be. And yeah, that's today's intro. Let's go play some games. Oh, real quick, because people care. 717, 1 hour, 52 minutes to go. Just needs to make top 1200. I think it will hold just fine. No red. We've got 2 Scrylands, and we're on the play, but no red. And we'd need double red for the Wraths anyway. I'm still gonna try it. Our opponent might be on control. Those sleeves, that avatar, gives me an impression. I'll keep the Growth Spiral. Yeah, we're just gonna draw a red land. It's gonna be great. Don't worry about a thing. Calm your Knight. 1/1 in the house. Our opponent's on adventures. Storm's Wrath can be pretty strong against them, and so can the Dragonfire. We just... At this point, I just have to find red mana. Which, by the way, how's the hair? Are we doing it? Okay, Mono Black Devotion. Dude's war face is on point. I'm gonna play more of this card just to yell at people. Yeah? You're not red mana. I mean, I need you, but you're not red mana. I think red mana is the only acceptable answer, and we did it. Borrower. So now that I have red mana, I do need red mana number 2. We're on Thassa's Intervention this turn. Borrower is interaction against this deck, but I don't think it's the interaction that we're looking for. I think we want more card draw, Wilderness Reclamation. We want to shuffle this back into the deck. I'm curious if the opponent can hit a follow-up here. No. Alright, my turn. URO. Pretty good. We can gain some life, possibly hit another land, and we can set up Scorching Dragonfire. It does get exiled by the Temur, which is pretty frustrating. Actually, does it? If I put this... Nice. So if I put this onto the battlefield, submit 1, pay 2 life, and then before the URO ends up in the graveyard, fire the Scorching Dragonfire at the opponent. After turning on full control, maybe we don't have to lose the URO to the Temur. Okay. Storm's Wrath is here. Thassa's Intervention can start going deep because we have 6 lands. Try to set up to get URO back. And the opponent, unfortunately, just whiffs on land, so bit of a non-game. Painful lands, but our combo is here. We just need to opt our way into a bit more mana and the cards to keep us alive. Scorching Dragonfire. I don't know if this is good. And I don't think I keep it just hoping it will be good. I think I have to see what the opponent's up to. So Temple of Milady, scry to the top. This sets up a Growth Spiral, so we'll do that. Hopefully find a land in time to play Wilderness Reclamation. One of the key differences, like a thing that a lot of people are suggesting for this deck is Omen of the Sea, scrying 1 more than Opt does. My personal opinion right now is that Opt is half the mana, which is a big deal, and I think that makes it better than Omen of the Sea overall. But I'm curious because it does seem it is one of those things that we debated quite a bit on Twitch. What do you guys think? Put it in the comments. Omen of the Sea or Opt, and why? Please, why? Because I'm still trying to figure out what I'm missing. I feel like my mind is mostly made up. I don't know if you can change my mind, to be honest. But I know that a lot of people disagree, and I want to understand as much as I can. Because the biggest thing for me is double the mana. Double. In a deck that has to go pretty fast sometimes when it's taking a beating. So we're getting set up, like we're going to explode, but our opponent appears to be on Sultai ramp, and if they get to casualties of war really quickly, the setbacks could be tremendous. And they are doing it. So we want land. I don't think blowing up the Paradise Druids is going to do it for us. I think we want to hit lands, get out a second reclamation, draw a bunch, go face. Intervention. And another. Where's those lands? Come on. Ooh, well, I may as well do this. Okay, make sure you mark your end step and slam the reclamation. And I guess I don't think I'm going to die to damage anytime soon, so I'm just going to pay 2 life here and do as much as I can. Get ready. Hold on to your butts. 7. This way, even if the opponent has casualties, we get all we can out of this right now. We did not find another one. Well, we'll have to figure out how to do the last 9 points. Castle Vantress can be good at taking advantage of mana in our end step to try to scry through our deck, and Thassa's Intervention is good for that too. But we've got that going on. We might even be able to intervene our way into the next expansion explosion once we do the math. The opponent goes with Big Krasis. Okay. So we know some amount of the bottom, and we know that we need another expansion explosion to win. We could just Storm's Wrath this and take our time. We don't have to be in a rush. It's definitely possible we could finish the game by going ham to find it, but I don't think that's the play here. I think the play is URO Storm's Wrath. Let's set that end step stop before we forget. Here's URO. Oh, okay. Well, and then that happened. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 does 10. I'm 1 point short. Because I need this 4 to cast it, and then there's double untaps. I'm 1 point short. Well, if we're 1 point short, we may as well wait till next turn and make sure we set it up. Resolve 1. All this mana. Let's scry. Another expansion explosion or another wilderness reclamation. 1 opt is fine, not 2 opts this time, please. 1 opt is fine. And then we'll just resolve the second one here. And pass it over with intervention up to counter and explosion ready for the win. This is the matchup you want most, by the way. You want ramp decks. Simic is a pretty good one to play against. Sultai is a pretty good one to play against. Twice X, our opponent has 1, so this should be enough. Decks that aren't going to kill you too quickly and that rely on a big endgame, because your endgame can go bigger, thanks to Wilderness Reclamation, and it can go directly to the face, which these decks struggle with. Other than fetching Pain Bacon, they don't really have that option. Now comes the not-so-fun part of the game, where we have to add all this mana to our mana pool, and when you're doing that with dual lands, can seem to take a very long time. It's smoother than it used to be, but it's still, like, yeah. If you ever want to be the most evil of trolls, you can try to get your opponent to scoop just by adding the mana to your mana pool. That sometimes does it. Also, by the way, you might notice we haven't left the game. We are stuck. I can't even emote to myself. Some might say this is what we deserve. Well, I make a different deck every day. Some deserve more than others. Close the client. I'm sure you're in brutal suspense to see what happens when we open it back up. Did I get my win? Do I get my gold? What do you think? What's it gonna be? And how's the hair? Brought it to the world. Sharing the hair with the world. Keeping the beanie in the corner for right now. We won! Hallelujah. Happy Lepetik. Let's fight. I have a Growth Spiral, Wilderness Reclamation, a Dragonfire, and an Opt. This is a very good opener. Happy to keep it. We can open with a Breeding Pool into a Castle Vantress, Growth Spiral into a Stomping Ground, but we could also shock for the Stomping Ground and Growth Spiral into an Opt. Let's see what our opponent does. They go turn 1 Mountain. Of course, that will shape a lot of what we want to do. Ta-da! No! Not like this. Maybe I need to pay the life anyway. If our opponent has either Runaway Steamkin, or if our opponent has Second Fervent Champion, we'll want to use this Dragonfire. If they don't, we could Growth Spiral into Opt into Wilderness Reclamation. This is tough because very early on, whether or not we pay life for these effects is going to matter. I think I want to avoid paying life, but it's so risky. If the opponent has a Second Fervent Champion, I may as well have paid it. So we're going to go for it. And we'll evaluate how much life to pay, because one of these lands has to enter the battlefield untapped at some point, I think. So we may as well do it now when we have the most options. But I might not cast this Opt this turn. I think we'll have extra mana after we play the Wilderness Reclamation to do that. Sure. I don't mind seeing that early, and this Embercleave is not coming down on time. Is there another 1-drop? That's the question here. There is. Oof. Okay. Let's try to spiral our way into a Storm's Wrath. Okay. A lot of things are coming together early. And we can do this. I want to save the explosion to draw a bunch of cards, so this turn is Dragonfire on something, probably the Spitter right before we enter combat. Although maybe I take it. The opponent might have Annex. Oh, that's a good Spitter target. Or not Spitter, but Dragonfire. But before I do, I'm going to look for a Brazen Borrower. Brazen Borrower is really good against anything that costs that much mana. Another Dragonfire, I'll take it. Yes, I will. We have to be ready for Embercleave next turn, so having another Dragonfire is a big deal. Growth Spiral. So do I Expansion Explosion here and leave up a Dragonfire? I think if I take something out, I'm in pretty good shape. I don't need to leave up a Dragonfire. Let's mark the end step. URO. Ooh. Well, that's good for next turn for sure. Life. Heals is cheats versus red. So that's 2. This is 3. We could just do this baby one to draw 3 cards and have a Dragonfire or a Growth Spiral, which I think I like. So yeah, let's do it like this. Right now this is worth the most damage. Fire at will, Commander. Double URO. Ha 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 ha. Oh, red mages. Pretty much any time you think of it, just mark your end step while you have Wilderness Reclamation on the field. Okay, I think that's worthy of a Scorching Dragonfire, because double Fervent Champion, it basically, one Fervent Champion, once you put it with another, it goes from 1 damage to 4 damage. Okay, the 1/1s are coming. Scorching Dragonfire is also too strong for an Infuriate. How are we doing on bringing URO back? We have a graveyard, that's for sure. Unlike most Simic decks, Temur Reclamation fills their graveyard with spells, cheap spells, like Scorching Dragonfire, Growth Spiral, and Opt, which makes bringing back URO much more consistent, and it's just a much stronger card in this shell, I think, than in other places, where it's kind of a role player and a backup plan. Here, URO can be the party, if you will. So let's start the party. We need a green to play URO again this turn, if we want to play URO from the graveyard. So let's see if we can draw it. We do draw it. Oh man, we're running hot. Hot, everybody. Yeah, you don't often see a URO cast and then URO escaped the same turn this early in the game, but Temur Reclamation can do it. We even have the land to put into play. Oh my goodness. And another. Yes, please. Okay, the opponent doesn't want to tango anymore. 3 life a turn, a 6/6 body, not to mention drawing a card. A bit too much. Rafal GG. Yeah. Dragonfire, URO. Hopefully Reclamation, Explosion is the line. It's a lot for the opponent to deal with, if they have hand hate. Taking a Reclamation doesn't do much. They have counter magic. Hopefully we get through it. And there's the combo. Let's go. Another black-green. Sultai ramp took off when I wasn't looking. So we still need another land. We'll get at least several looks at it. We'll see like 5 cards before we miss the drop. So I'm feeling safe. Okay, we have 2 choices. Let's see what happens here. Let's let the opponent's trigger go off. So we can Scorching Dragonfire the URO. If we do that, it will exile and it won't be in the graveyard anymore. We can also Scorching Dragonfire the Paradise Druid. Now, like I talked about, these decks don't usually fill the graveyard fast enough for URO to come back, but our opponent might have Cavalier of Thorns. I think the right play here is to Scorching Dragonfire the Paradise Druid and slow the opponent's ramp down. They have double the lands we have right now. That's pretty risky. Intervention. That can counter a Cavalier of Thorns, which might be the opponent's whole plan. I think we'll actually say go, because if they do nothing, we still have Opt. So I think we're holding on to URO. Dismal Backwater. Agonizing Remorse. Well, I can't counter it, but I could copy it. Why the heck not? Also, we want to try to opt into a land anyway, so let's do that before the Remorse can resolve. No. Not a land. That's scary. Very scary. I think the opponent will take the URO. I think I will expansion this, just to make sure the opponent can't take much advantage of me over the next turn. Double Nissa, and another Agonizing Remorse. I'm glad we did that. Now the opponent might take the Intervention so they can resolve their Nissa. If I take a Nissa, they'll just take the Intervention, and then their first Nissa resolves, and it's like I did nothing. So we take the other Remorse. Wow. I like this. Like, I already like the shell of this deck. Agonizing Remorse, Nissa, URO. It's a lot of powerful stuff. So they want the intervention, I think. Ooh, weird. Okay. I want to land. Yeah, I just want land. Alright, we'll pass with intervention open to counter one of the Nissa. Oh, oops. Nope. Yes. Slow that Nissa down. Then we'll get a reclamation. We also have the chance to draw another intervention off the top. We don't do it. We do find the land. Can't be upset about that. Oop. Forgot to do that. I don't think it matters there, because we're either scrying or growth spiraling and not both anyway. Let's go ahead and see if we can find another intervention here. Miss, but that Scorching Dragonfire is okay. It's okay. Our opponent is stuck a little bit on lands, and that was a forest that we took out. It did produce double, so it's a pretty good hit. Possibly should have kept a green open. Well, got rewarded anyway. More URO, right? Now we're looking for expansion explosion, because we're going to be doing not much while the opponent gets their way with us with this Nissa. So cross your fingers. Cross your fingers, hold on to your butts. Our opponent didn't find another forest yet. Double geese. Geese on a lease. Not risking the last forest. Makes sense. Ouch. I think Storm's Wrath is a pretty good keep. We can't get back URO and Storm's Wrath though. Yeah, let's do it. Keeps Nissa from ultimating. I still have a good amount of life. It buys me more time. We could just bring this back first. Opponent doesn't have that much of a graveyard. Once we take this out, they will have enough to bring URO back, but they won't have the right mana. But they can animate this forest to do it. I think if we wait one more turn before the Nissa ultimates, that's a good decision, I think. Everything but the URO can go. Otherwise, we're not using our graveyard anyway. We could still hit the untapped land. It's possible. But if we have a URO on the battlefield when we cast Storm's Wrath, we can attack Nissa and kill Nissa as well. Oh. Okay, that's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's do it. I think taking out the land is the wisest, just to cut down the mana sources. I think that's where we want to be. Don't negate me, bro. The other thing is we definitely don't want to wait. Our opponent showed us Agonizing Remorse. So we want to cast that card as soon as we can. Double Storm's Wrath. Oh! That'll do it for the Sultai Mage. Okay, 4-0. I'm going to leave it there. I'm sorry to do that again. I promise this isn't something I'm going to do as a habit to try to make you subscribe to my Patreon. It really is intended for bonus content for the mega fans to get a little bit extra, not to be a gateway to the content people want the most. In this case, the Players Tour is already going on. I'm late to my own watch party. Those games were good. It's been exciting so far. I don't think I can do a much better video, but you never know. That Esper Exile run went better than expected. So yeah, I'm going to run along and make that content available for the patrons. It's patreon.com. It's only $2 a month if you want to. You don't have to. Like I said, it's not designed to be a paywall gateway thing. I know it seems like it this week because 2 of the runs, basically, if you want to see the end, you have to do that. But it really is because right now I have to go be at the Players Tour thing, and I'm running late. The main reason I'm running late, Brawl Hall 3 just got posted on Merchant's channel, and I wanted to share with everybody that that's out. So if you like seeing me make other people very unhappy, Brawl Hall 3 on Merchant's channel. As for changes to the deck, I love the deck right now. This is the result of like a 4-hour playtest session, and I think this is where the deck needs to be for best of 1 at this time. The Scorching Dragonfire spots are the most flexible. If Mono Red takes a break from the meta, maybe you could do without it, but I love it as it is. Thank you for watching this video. As always, I will see you in the next video, and come by Twitch, say hello, watch some Pro Magic if it's going on and I'm doing the watch party, and yeah, I'll see you around. Bye.